All right, started.
Right. And okay. And last we left the session, party had managed to push back an encroaching horde of aberrations with the aid of their own abilities and nothing else, at least as far as the public is concerned, excluding, of course, the warlock. Just a That's a completely different thing. Uh, Party. Let's see here. After having found the current occupying body of or entity occupying. Let's see here. Occupying Zarissa's body, a Yithian, whose identity is unknown, and I, frankly, probably best that way. The party was not so much forced to, but encouraged to put the now, uh, well, reconstituted. What would be the term? They, to have Zarissa be put into the city of Gustav's custody
Yeah.
so as to undergo trial, which, according to everything, uh, if all is to be believed, and well, there's not exactly any reason they shouldn't believe, should result in her being the motion being of her guilt being disposed of and her innocence proven. Let's see.
Yeah. So currently, I think we're gonna try to see if we can get contact with some no guild and see if we can. They have someone that can get her. What is it? Soul back into her original body.
No, yeah, you managed to get her soul, mind and soul moved back to the original body.
Oh,
No,
okay. Yeah.
Zarissa's back, but she's still awaiting trial because
Oh, okay.
she did all the
Yeah.
act in her body. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. So we'll just have to wait on that then, I guess.
it's Adriana's waiting for Piotr and supposed town wizard, which is going to explain everything.
Yeah.
Alistair's gonna hang out with her, but he's also his eyes are kind of faded as he's trying to talk with his patrons.
Yeah. Considering what happened, yeah, that's the talk would be understatement.
Yeah.
Having to have them sit down and explain his current situation probably be a lot more. Giving him to talk about the Eldritch birds and the bees might be a lot more accurate, but yeah.
Like, what's this about me becoming a patron?
I'm just imagining it's that bit from SpongeBob. I don't remember exactly which one, but
Was it the episode of like, you, the one who built the special out of the.
yeah, it's that one, right? Yeah, that one specifically. Because from what I recall, that one is very. I think that would be very accurate considering his situation.
Then he also has to notify his bosses.
Quote unquote.
Yeah,
He what?
quote unquote.
I mean, you say it like bosses, and then just all I can think of is like quote unquote.
Well, the iridescent knights should know that he is to become a warlock patron.
He may end up becoming a warlock patron.
Yeah.
You have the potential of being an eldritch entity.
On the path. On the path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a long road ahead of you.
And good God, is it going to be long as hell.
I mean, nothing says you can be like, you know what, that road's not for me.
Well, you could just say no, yeah.
But first, he's going to need to talk to his patrons, the Ashen Wolf and the Spirit of Vengeance.
Yeah. Which, of course, will be done, but in the meantime, let's see here. Who do we start with? Because this is actually going to be very... I guess, Yang.
Mhm.
Adriana, you await the local mage's, appearance.
I'd also like to say before while I'm waiting, I've casted prestidigitation, make myself smell like leather.
Alright.
Does it smell nice? Because there's a
Understandable.
lot of war going on. So,
Yeah. Considering your situation, I think that it's completely understandable.
yeah, clean up, make myself smell nice.
Yeah, you do so. I mean, the smell isn't exactly lingering. There's not exactly much to linger on anymore, thanks to the wonders of prestidigitation. Prestidigitation, yeah.
And then I'll just wait for the mage.
Yeah. You aren't left waiting particularly very long, as eventually coming through you see a very old, uh, even by uh, even by dwarvish standards, dwarvish man appears to be wearing this sort of almost ceremonial, but very clearly at the same time it's very fully functional set of plate art of half plate. He appears to be wielding a staff in one hand and a shield in the other, as he's currently just conversing with the guards. Eventually, who sort of asking him questions of, eh, judging by their far more frantic, well, posture, probably on order, probably something to regard in something to do with orders and things of that nature. To which he's just basically replying in kind to have it's okay. There shouldn't be too much of a shouldn't be too much of a resurgence from those creatures. Granted, as long as we stay vigilant. That being said, prepare X, Y, and Z her for recon, and remember to apply those talismans that were passed out based off of the information he was given from those uh, curious mer- curious mercenaries or agents from that uh, archaeologists guild. To which he then notices you. Uh, he then sort of waves off the guards, like, now take basically something along the lines of, go on ahead, and I have to take care of something right now. You see this very clearly bald, dwarvish man with silvery grayish hair, silvery grayish, with a silvery grayish beard, almost reminds you of sort of polished steel in a way, but with the way he presents himself, he more or less physically walks as if he walks like a like a soldier would. Very straight, upright posture. His his head forward, eye eyes towards you. Very much walking with purpose. As he approaches you, he brings up a He brings up a gauntleted hand, open hand, and says, "I take it you're the one of the agents from the archaeologist guilds, Seven Nobles, yes?"
Yes, I am one of those.
Mm. Oh, you're there too, yeah. Sorry, Alistair's there as well. I completely forgot. Uh, and he, to which he then sort of looks over to Alistair and mentions, "And you are the warlock, and who is the uh, who aided in preparing those aberrant monsters, yes?"
He nods. Just doing my part to keep this place safe.
Hmm. Very least, you have your heart in the right place. He then sort of just turns to look at both of you. Now, I have been told a lot of conflicting information regarding this scenario. It's not exactly every day that one gets to have their mind and consciousness swapped, mind, soul, and consciousness swapped with a aberrant creature.
That is true.
No, but it does happen.
You were saying, John?
I just said that is true. Allow me to allow me and my friend here to clear up any misinformation.
Mm, that will be seen once it's known exactly what we are dealing with. I told one of you is a learned fellow. I take it. Uh, it's one of you two, or
Oh, yes, I'm a scholar.
okay. Well, you could explain to me the intricacies of this situation from your perspective. I would very much appreciate
I'd
the.
love to. I believe it primarily is the cause of the scenario was it's an avatar of Hester.
Let's see here. Yeah,
And if needed, Alistair will hop in and explain what he knows about Haster.
if need be, yeah. Two of you explain, the entity in which was involved in this scenario, as well as the overall, well, lack of control she had in the situation. The he appears to sort of just nod, listening, and letting you to explain the situation. At the end, which he says, "And what makes you certain that this, what do you call her? What do you call her? Zarissa. Yes, is not to be put to blame for this, the invasion."
As Euthins, as I've said before, they are then are these aberrations. Now, when Euthins arrive upon the new world, they swap minds with creatures they encounter, so as they experience the world as their native. So, since we swapped minds with Sarissa, it was, that wasn't Sarissa's actions, those were the Euthians' actions.
Hmm.
It was completely unaware. Her mind literally was not herself.
He looks and nods.
Would you blame a sword for what the user does with it?
Hmm. Well, depends on whether the sword is cursed. He says, most appears to be mostly in jest.
Fair enough.
Uh, I understand what you're saying. He was not in her right mind, not in control of the situation, and if she
Yes,
was, then this would never have happened. Yes.
quite literally, she wasn't in her right mind. It was and her mind and her soul were in a completely different place. So it was Balder was merely a husk to do what Yithian wished to do.
But I'm not too surprised. Though this doesn't entirely prove innocent. You must be able to prove in the court that the host was unwilling.
I understand, sir. As a priestess of Sylvan, I shall be attending trial later.
Mm.
And I will try to get a former warlock of Pastor to speak on her behalf.
That will not be entirely necessary. We have ways of drawing out the truth. I'm sure you're very familiar. It's very common in most places. Zone of truth, yes?
Yes,
You should be able to extract the information so long as she is willing. The question still remains as to whether or not the after effects will influence the decision anymore. You understand what I am saying, yes?
I understand. Yes, I believe that she is back with her memories and such. I believe the only after effect of this position would be she may have memories of this aberration. Maybe that could be good. It could shine light on where her body and where her mind and soul.
Not exactly what I was implying. You, both of you, you are very traveled, yes, from I could see.
Yes,
How do I describe this? How familiar are you with the post, post expulsion effect of, well, mind control?
Can I roll an Arcana?
what's the question again? Was
The
how familiar are you?
post expulsion of mind control or mind swapping. In this case, which would be either a medicine or arcana check. Uh, player's choice, of course.
If the answer's going Arcana, I'll go medicine.
Okay.
Let me character sheet pop up
21.
and yeet.
9.
So
Okay.
21 on medicine because I have
Use
advantage
a
with my
reroll.
Or do you want to use your ascended dice?
What is my ascended dice?
You're a dummy guy.
You can use it once per short or long rest.
Yeah, it is a D8 to add to your roll.
And you have 2 of them, thanks to long days.
I'll use 2.
You can only use 1 at a time, but we'll just take the higher of the 2 for this. So 17 Arcana and 18 Medicine.
No, 21 medicine
Or
because
21, sorry.
my
21 medicine.
hand gives me advantage.
Yeah, you both have to take a moment to think, like, what exactly is he talking about? As Alistair, you're real, like, for a moment, you're like, like, that really sounds like nothing. Oh, wait, right, wasn't it that? And as you sort of very easily are able to recall this information, and Adriana, you're able to recall it as well, though with a bit more ease than he. The effects of post-mind control, there have been several cases where where the individual or individuals have suffered what one could describe as disassociation with their current surroundings. They sometimes confuse the present with the past, their present with with the creature's future, a sort of mental bleeding effect between the two, between all 3 states of time, past, present, and future, between both minds. Yithians, considering their ability to, well, recall information millennia in the past, up to a millennia in the past, depending on the age of a creature, can result in them acting like acting as if they were that creature. Which itself may pose a threat to anybody caught in the proverbial crossfire of it. So basically, what he's entailing is that the case isn't just going to be on whether or not she still has her faculties, but whether or not she will continue to have her faculties and not be a danger to not only herself but those around her. Which makes sense, but at the same time, excuse me, but at the same time, it's with both of you, you're able to recall that it's generally a very uh, granted, this situation is a very rare scenario, but any sort of bleed effect, so long as they receive proper, not just mental, but also spiritual advice from, say, uh, physician, from a physician or healer, or a trained professional, would be unlikely, though not impossible. Still unlikely.
Alistair will nod. No, if you'll both excuse me, I need to contact several people.
Sir just looks at you from you're free to go. As you turn away, he appears to sort of choke upon his staff uh, and sort of sling it over his over behind onto his what appears to be a not sheath but a backstrap made to carry it for him. As he just shakes his head. Nah.
Is something wrong, wizard?
This is as you leave, as you've left. Sorry, there. So you wouldn't be able to see it.
Is there something wrong?
Yeah.
Was it there
The
a situation? I understand.
the people are superstitious, and
And
with
that is,
everything today, it only confirms certain superstitions.
I understand.
Mm, not entirely.
Yeah,
The
I hope to see the full scope and then try it.
I'm going to elaborate. I mean no, how do you say? I mean no
Offense?
harm. I mean no offense. Pardon me. English is
It's okay. Yeah,
not my
English.
first.
Yeah, common or English wasn't my first language. But
The up until recently, in the past few months, our this city has been very uh, temperamental with outsiders, very cautious of them, as many times in the past, our town has had a history of, well, put simply, not always in the best. Not the guests have not always put their best foot forward and have taken advantage of the people here. As a result, it has left many people in the mostly shorter lived peoples, much like humans and Dragonborn, and and it's left them
Hold on, my dad's calling me.
Oh, okay. It's left them jaded, cautious. Many of them wish to use this situation, use this scenario as a proof that we should be far more strict with outsiders. We should exclude them far more. I personally do not see a purpose to it other than to shelter ourselves into with ignorance further, which may very well be our downfall.
so, I mean, no offense, but I do agree with the shelter yourself and blind yourself on the world's knowledge. That'd be not the best decision.
Yes. Oh, I still understand. I was there when those crimes were committed. Says as he rubs one eye. Ugh,
I mean,
these times bring out the worst in people.
yes, given that they've fought in this battle, I can understand why they would be cautious. So I understand the situation. Uh, hopefully they'll be lighten up, but I can understand that this scenario would want them to close up.
It's not just this. With the legitimacy of the nobility's rule over our country being put under question, many of them plan to use this as to take this to their advantage, to further their political agenda. And while I cannot condone it, personally, I'm not against it. Such matters don't uh, bother me too much. They are simply the acts of younger, younger-lived peoples, of shorter-lived peoples acting under duress, and considering their well, frequency of these sort of events on the other parts of the world, I can understand where all the reasoning for why.
Oh, I can understand as well as a traveled individual.
There's also the question of that man. Who was his name? Alistair, yes?
Yes.
He. The people saw what he was capable of. Many guards and many people claim he is a hero, terrifying, yes, but a hero nonetheless. More suspicious and traditional peoples here claim he's possessed, demon mm, curled, demon marked. The abilities he displayed terrifying for the mor- for the mortal mind.
That is understandable. I've been traveling with him for a while. Although I can confirm that he isn't a possessed, does exhibit very powerful not powers, as you would say.
Yes, that much is clear.
We've,
However, what he
yeah.
the problem isn't just yes what he did. The problem will also include in the trial will also include his stance on the nature of the things, depending on what he may or agree or disagree with, may change the course of the case. People are prejudiced, especially amongst the devil blooded.
Oh, I see. So he is going to take part in this trial.
Or I might not have a choice but to participate.
You're not quite there yet, but yeah.
Oh, this is out of character.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
essentially, what I'm trying to convey is that what he says may very well be used against what's your the outside
You can just
research.
cover Z if you wish.
The people may end up using it against Teresa to
Condemn.
make an example of her.
I see.
I mean, I mention this as someone who traveled himself. As he sort of looks over to Zarissa, who appears to be resting on a cot. To think I was having a normal conversation with her on the nature of conjuration and its effects in long-term warfare. It will very well be questioned with my association with her.
Well, I hope you stay safe, Piotr.
Yeah, do not worry. I've lived a long time, and I will continue to do so so long as I am capable. I will, I will, if I need any assistance from you regarding any ritual or questions of the sort, I may end up calling upon you for aid.
I'd be happy to. I am a well-trained cleric.
Good. Well trained and what I've been told by the guards, very experienced.
On that I am. I am. What you say? I've been a bit more blessed than a traditional cleric.
Hmm. Hopefully it stays that way. Stays that.
Hopefully,
Now, it's time for me to perform my rituals to determine the validity of her thing. Uh, it's simply just at this point, a part of the process. It's how do you say, an unnecessary thing, but simply just to say one has done it.
I understand. Do you wish for me to not be in attendance?
No need. I should be fine alone. You should keep an eye on that Alistair for the time being.
There's
Something is not quite right.
and says if he is going to be a part of this trial, I must inform him.
That you must.
Thank you for this conversation, Piotr.
The pleasure as always, to meet there. Well, to meet another worshipper of Ceylon.
Oh, you're the worshipper.
Well, I have my respect.
Uh,
Yeah.
oh, may the moon, may the moon maiden guide you back.
And may the shades ever protect thine skin. As
And
he'll start pulling out his book and flips through it.
she'll nod and then go and try and find Alistair while we use.
Alistair, make for me a charisma saving throw. Not as a save against anything in particular, just yeah. No.
But I
27. As you attempt communion with your patrons, it's a lot more difficult compared to before, where at once or previously it was a lot more focused. It was a lot more direct. It now feels like you're trying to pull two tides together. Eventually, you do so, though strenuous. As you see, on your left eye, you see the spirit of vengeance, an eternal flame, aim of well, of agonized and tormented souls, and onto that was your right, yeah, your right eye for your left eye for the spirit of vengeance, your left eye for as you see the ashen wolf, a a lupine creature with smoldering embers coming off of its furs, sitting on almost a nest of steel and splintered and scorched wood.
And as for the spirit of vengeance, what do they look like?
Oh, just I as they look like a mass of flames with the souls of the misbegotten. Not a physical creature exactly, but but the representation of vengeance itself.
Is this going on in a mindscape of some sort, or is this like I can physically see them?
This is in a mindscape, as you're sort of in a trance.
And within the mindscape, he says, "All right, let's. Do you mind if I change scenery?" And he tries to. Okay, have you? He tries to create like almost like a medieval bordering.
All right, make for me a charisma save with disadvantage. 20. As you attempt to, you feel both forces almost try to pull away, or try to approach each other in a much less, far more, well, violent fashion. But you're able to, at the very least, in your psyche, temper it for but a moment, placing as your vision shifts, as you close your eyes, your vision shifts, and you see yourself in front of a triangular table, wooden table, or stone table, actually. On the on the left hand side, the mass of flames sitting on laying on top of a brazier. On the right, well, the ashen wolf in their nest.
And I assumed I created it here for myself, right?
Well, yeah, as far as you can tell, you're sitting in a chair. Well, what it's made out of is completely up to you.
Honestly, a humble wooden chair. All right. Several revelations have been opened up to me, and this fucker showed up as he shows his arm.
Mm-hmm. They they let you continue.
Spirit of vengeance. What is your take on this?
Let's see here. Uh, the spirit does not speak, but instead projects towards appears to be you, and although initially against it, towards the wolf as well, as it simply states that it would have preferred that alone be the one who be the one that grants you the power to ascend, or to be the host of your ascension, and not this mad dog who thrashes against every living creature. The ashen wolf simply growls, as you can understand.
He looks to the spirit of vengeance. The action wolf has helped us out, and he is a part of us. He is a part of me as you are. And he should receive some due respect. I ask that you trust me in my decision on this.
They simply respond that they respect your decision, but they do not respect, but they will not respect the wolf, or it as how do I put it simply? offended them one too many time. Too many have fallen to this one's servant's blade that were, in their eyes, deemed innocent.
I understand. But as the spirit of vengeance, you know the greatest form of vengeance there is. It isn't the cold feel of a steel blade against their neck. It is the knowledge that they ride around while you live a better life than they.
Therein lies the problem. The Ashen Wolf, in their perspective, is living a life far superior is far more content with their position. They would be far more pleased if it were a bit more uncomfortable. However, they also know that is beyond your limits, so
Not.
they do not blame you.
And he thinks the uh, spirit of vengeance. He turns to the Ashen Wolf.
All right, what do you ask them?
What do you make of this? As he pulls up the black metal armed tattoo thing.
All all who earn so noble, all who earn so from against the claws of of monsters deserve their reward, whether it be a blessing or a curse. However, they would prefer that this blind judge be excommunicated from your source of power. However, they under, they understand that that this is out of your capabilities, and considering the nature of your relationship with them, they do not entirely blame your repeated not hostilities. What the fuck am I thinking of? They don't blame your repeated interactions with this and continued ties with with that blind judge.
Alistair has treated, like, for the most part, has treated them equally. He has asked the Ashen Wolf's opinion just as much as he is, well, as much of an answer he can get from a writhing mass of flames and souls. I understand the animosity between the both of you. From what you have, or at least I think I do. Understand that you both live, well, you don't really live. You are both as much a part of me as I am a part of you. And while you may not like each other, please respect that I draw upon both of your powers. I shall treat you both equally.
Make a persuasion check. Normally.
Here I go, persuading again. Especially to powers beyond my comprehension.
You talk beyond mortal comprehension, yeah. As
Again,
you
my
do
comprehension.
as you do so, they not immediately happy, as you certainly feel, even though this is your own mind and you have full control of everything here, it's getting a bit too hot. It's been getting a bit too warm. As you almost see the corners of both sides of the table just almost begin to glow red with heat. They till it eventually cools off. Both of them say it's effectively, just to make it clear and short and concise, both of them will not respect, nor will they a a nor will they deny, no, will not respect each other, nor will they pull their power away, or will they deny you your power that you've made through the pact you've made with them. But they will temporarily tolerate each other's presences in your form. Until then, eventually you'll have to make a decision. Which one does your loyalty lie most with?
He looks at,
Go
he
ahead.
does look at them and go, you at least not do you not respect me enough to understand my choices?
They do. They just don't respect each other. Like, you're fine. They don't have any problems with you. You're okay, but it's the other bitch that they don't like. It's one of those situations.
As he turns to the Ashen Wolf, if it weren't for the spirit of vengeance, we would not have this conversation.
And do you say anything to the spirit?
And if it weren't for the Ashen Wolf, yes, and if it weren't for the Ashen Wolf, we may not be where we are right now, as fast as we are. Can you not at least admit that it would have taken us far longer to get where we are now with his help than we would have been a few years down the line? He has given us a jump start. And for that, we should at least thank him.
You get no response at first. Before you hear them both say in unison, which is why we will simply tolerate each other. As with that, the vision ends. As you feel a presence someone approach you.
May I help you?
As you open your eyes, you see Adriana.
Hello, Adriana. And he just gives
Sorry
her
if I kind of. Oh,
he gives his normal kind smile.
I'll sure to give a kind smile back. I apologize if I was interrupting anything.
No, no. It seems that my my friends have a grudge against each other.
Oh. And that is going to harm anyone anyway.
I'm trying to find harmony between the two, but it's it is as it's going to be as easy as my progenitor finding peace without a battlefield.
Oh, I see. Alright. Speaking of power, I have some important news to give you.
Hmm?
As well as speaking with the Piotr, he revealed to me that you're going to be on trial as well.
And he just goes, lovely, more to add to my headache. Let me guess, they have. Oh, they have. They're xenophobic to my kind, correct?
Not exactly. Where the fear possessed or demon marked.
Now that's just insulting.
It said it's not fully through the entire common people. Some people think they are a hero, actually. Some others believe that and maybe possessed or demon marked. So you are under suspicion. As when you go to trial, as what you say may be used against Larissa.
Well, I hope to dispel their illusions that I'm under some demonic control.
I hope so too. We must remember what's crucial is that what you say will affect Larissa's trial. Is speaking with Piotr, he told me that the people here they're very have become very suspicious over the past couple of months. Very superstitious.
Superstitions are just shadows that need to be lit.
Well, it's after talking, I have come to the understanding of their superstition because the outsiders have previously entered their city and taken advantage of the people here for very long periods of time. The shorter-lived people, like the humans or the dragonborn, they're jaded, cautious, and suspicious.
You see, and I say this out of character, you see Alistair do his best impression of Severus Snape. Just a look of disgust at hearing that. Well then, that's not really. That's not a good thing to hear. But he claps his hands. I must contact the uh, iridescent knights as he pulls out his maps to see if there is a monastery or at least a trade post here.
There is from what you see, make for me an investigation check.
Can I get some help from
Yeah,
Shara?
I can help him.
Yeah, sure. All right, 16. So you have to pull out this little, very not really little, is fist-sized pocketbook, very thin paper, and just basically flip through to check if there's any locals any diviners or who may be able to, who have made contact with who are, or at least associated with the Iridescent Cross, the Knights of the Iridescent Cross. You find that one of the local oracles is a repeat customer of the not repeat customer, but repeat caller of the knights. I say repeat because here's their not exactly it's not that they're a fan. It's just that how do I put this? They're a former they're a retired member. It's sort of like a basically the equivalent of an ex-cop or ex-marine who still keeps tabs on the state of the military, or in this case, an ex-knight who is keeping in contact with the order to understand the state of the current state of affairs of the you know with the order.
Is there an address?
Yes, they appear to be a they appear to be a or they appear to be a cobbler and a occasional and on his off time a priest when need be.
Looks down at his boots that are they're kind of getting raggedy. I could use a new pair of boots. What do you think, Sheriff? Should we go see a cobbler?
I don't need any new clothes, but we can go see a cobbler. Then I'm sure you can clear your name. I'm traveling with you. I'm clear that you aren't demonically possessed, but you need to remember that is secondary.
Yes. Yes. Because, of course, I can take over this town with the power of shoes.
Be careful, you're gonna possess all their feet.
No, of course, I'll put a pebble in each of their shoes.
Okay, now that's
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 true
why you're
evil.
doing
that's chaotic evil.
All right. As much as you guys,
Evil.
all right, you guys are having fun, but I'm sitting here doing a whole lot of nothing.
Well, I think the cobbler's
Pretty much my cue for Auntie to move on.
the cobbler's essentially okay. We're done here.
Yeah. Meanwhile, while they're on their way, Ratchet,
Yeah.
as you make your way, where exactly are you going? Shopping or?
Well, seeing how I don't got much to do until the trial starts, I'll see what I can do about making. Well, seeing how I know, like, this town probably went through a lot, I'll see what I can do about, fixing up anyone's weapons or making straight up new ones for people.
All right.
But, and maybe even some minor construction that I can do with smithing tools. I need, like,
Yeah, some like repair work or just making a quick nail here and there. I say
Yeah.
making a quick nail, but God, making nails. I wasn't able to make one in that one trip. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah.
Where was I?
Actually, I find making nails therapeutic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying I can't make nails to save my life.
Alright, so I'll do smithing tool checks for general weapons. Let's see what I can make for the townfolk. Just fill in a quick queue. Or do you need me to make a another check first before I do smithing tools? Or
Make for me just a straight smithing tools check. You're good.
okay. Alright, that is a 30.
Modified 30. All right. You aid with the general repair and or replacement of equipment. The locals, of course, provide the materials as they want to. They want to be very frugal with, well,
What gets
considering the
used?
situation, with what's getting used. Uh, especially when they ask for aid with, well, with their damaged housing and such. It's very laborious, but eventually you get a good, but very, it's almost surprising. You very, not quickly, but very efficiently clean up a lot of the queue that you've made for yourself before you know it,
Ye-
and you find yourself with nothing to do after literally 3 hours.
All right,
And
with
basically one hit each nail into like a board or something, into boards, just almost not almost mythically craft a singular blades for some of the guards and or spears, and just easily winnow down the the excess, the grime and dirt off of any old weaponry.
all right, with that done and not finding any other busy work, and I still have time to kill, I'll see what I can do about start working on the applying the oath bow enchantment to my dragon great bow.
All right. You can do so. Make a crafting tools check and a wisdom saving throw.
All right, this I will.
Unless you'd like to choose to fail this saving throw, as you do recognize the pull being from aforementioned Earth Goddess.
Yeah. I mean, if I feel like it's a good thing and not necessarily a negative thing, I'll see what happens. But also, I've wanted to expend some heat dice to like essentially make this process a whole lot quicker. I just forgot to click this.
Oh, go ahead. You can expend some heat dice.
Yeah.
This is like after you're done, so with making it, so it's nothing that needs that'll take particularly an exuberant amount of time.
Yeah.
Even then, if it did, I mean, this is just a vision that for you would feel like a couple minutes up to like a couple hours, but
Yeah.
in reality, it's like just a few seconds.
Yeah. All right. So that is now a modified 37. Heat dice are coming.
Modified 37.
Yeah.
Okay. And I take it you accept uh, the vision?
Yeah, saying how it seems like it's from the Earth Goddess. Yeah. Collect
Alright.
call calling from Earth Goddess. Like I accept.
Alright. One moment. It's been a while, so it's very. So my memory's a bit hazy. Oh, wait, no. Oh, wait, no. Here we are. Ah, right. That. Oh god. Oh yeah. Those are the good notes. That's a good shit. That's a good shit. All right. So as your vision shifts, you find yourself in that familiar stone. Well, not stone. You find yourself in that familiar garden, sitting on a marble chair, marble not chair, but a marble bench, overlooking a horizon. As coming as you hear the footsteps behind you of Rontra, the Earth Mother.
Yeah. Roger. Just looks on.
Her
Yeah.
her incandescent glowing blue eyes and cracks across her face almost accentuate her facial features that are almost softened by the contrasting brown hair and plants growing in place of eyebrows. Very warm, uh, uh, sun-kissed lighting that appears to be almost eternally on her. As she just looks at you with with joy,
Just being like, hello, Rancho.
Oh, it's been too long.
Yeah, it has been a bit.
I think almost a year.
Feels like it.
I must say, my lack of communication with you is embarrassing, but it's not without a good reason. The less good aligned gods wish to be such as Asmodeus. She appears to like. It's kind of hard to tell with her physical features if she's rolling her eyes or just or is just like ugh, or just like shivering, but she just makes like a disgusted look like ugh, as if she'd walked over or seen like a roadkill on the side of a street.
Yeah.
The wish to expedite it. They wish to expedite it, and it took me a while to receive aid from specific deities not familiar with my uh, usual uh, uh, brothers and sisters. But I managed to receive enough aid, one of which apparently is a goddess who is coming to to become accepted by the Avroni clergy. A goddess of invention and creation?
Richard just thinks there for a minute, just trying to remember what that, because I remember talking to them, I think, at one point, and my brain's just being potato.
Yeah, you talked to them before.
Yeah, I'm just
They're essentially a cult at first, but now they're being recognized.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name, and I'm drawing a blank.
It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Yeah. I'm gonna ask now. Just what was their name above game?
Hold on. Let's see. I know you have a book that turned out to be tracked by her.
Was it the Cult of Bront?
No, not Grotzt.
I think I might have removed that book from my inventory.
No, it was the Cult of Bronze. I think her name was Bree.
I think it was Bree.
Her name was Bree, and she wanted to have an audience with Ratchet because he damaged the Tapestry of Fate.
Yeah. Yeah, she also, you know, kind of, being herself a construct, with no master, sensing, divinity in you. It's kind of obvious there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's like meeting a kid with the same interests, essentially.
Yeah.
She wanted to know she wanted to say hello.
Yeah. So yeah, Retro will mention her name and say it's like, yeah, she wanted to talk to me because she seems to have the same interests as I do, just wanting to create.
Yes. A bit curious, the nature of such a powerful goddess, especially considering her zones of influence. I trust that nothing untoward happened with her. She was very outspoken in your defense.
Yeah, she's friendly, but it's more of like a good friendship kind of deal with what it seems like I got off of her.
Yes, I spoke to her. She gave me a book. A she gave me a physical a corporeal cut duplicate of one of her tomes. Oh, its name escapes me at the moment. But she seemed very odd, separate from emotion, yet very almost humanitarian. Regardless, it's nothing to. I just wish to know. It was very odd encountering someone like her. If you'd like, you can make an insight check
Let's see
on
how.
this stuff. If you ever want to say so, yeah.
That's 22.
22. Yeah, you get a feeling that kind of a bit of envy with her, but at the same time, kind of like she doesn't know what to make of her, so she's basically asking you for, what's her deal on your from your character's perspective.
It
Trying to get understanding from you.
From what I can remember, it just seems like it. To put it into an analogy, a kid who just seems to have an interest in innovation and an invention, and just wants to see make friends with anyone who has the likeliness or kinship of that.
Yes, appears to be makes sense. She's very vocal about Warforged and people of constructed form.
Yeah, she really does have a passion for forges and wants them to be more, well, free like me.
Hmm. Which I don't disagree with. It's just she's a very jarring individual. But that's not important. What is important is that we managed to prevent that from happening, and our plan could finally come into fruition. It's exciting. You could send your godhood and join us with Sutaro by your side.
And Bolt if he ever decides to join.
Um, um,
Oh,
I'm sorry, what?
yeah, I kinda talked to him, and he seems to not necessarily hate me anymore, just necessarily just the process of becoming a deity seems to be a bit, flawed from his perspective, and I hate to admit it, but I kind of agree with him.
Whatever do you mean? What foolishness is this?
Essentially,
Ascendancy is perfection. To serve those who you once were in a far more powerful form is the greatest form of service one could provide.
essentially, from what he told me, those who ascend lose sense of themselves and become extremes of what they were.
That's absolutely barbaric. Probably shouldn't take him seriously. That sounds so absurd. Sounds like the mutterings of a madman. If I didn't know, if I didn't know, if I weren't so well, I weren't. If I weren't so protective.
I'm inciting like what her natural 20 just being like,
Yeah. You can kind of see it now. Exactly what he's talking about. The absolute denial and just outright calling him mad. It's completely normal. I mean, you're basically. I mean, what he's basically saying is that they're just a bunch of tools. I mean, anyone would be rightfully upset. She's kind of hiding how upset she is under a smile.
I
But at the same time, there's this there's this hollowness. You're it's it hurts almost.
Hmm.
What she says isn't her own choice. Like it's been practiced.
Yeah. Oh,
Either that, or you might be going paranoid from. You might be. Oh God, you might be turning into uh to Bolt.
did
That's up to you to decide.
Ratchet will just look at her and be like, "You're clearly in." It's like it seems like you're in pain whenever you speak what you say. So maybe it's best if we don't speak more of this matter, so you don't feel like you're forced to.
Yes, this is most. I'm sorry, but this is the most absurd idea I've ever heard.
Yeah, but
In all seriousness, you should probably not associate too much with him. He may end up upsetting the wrong people and getting you.
whoa,
He might result in you losing power or influence in some regard, which I don't want to happen in any way, shape, or form whatsoever.
I will say this much: if I'm gonna become a deity, become a god, I'm gonna stick true to myself and be myself. If there is even a hint I will lose semblance of what I was on the mortal plane, I will find a different path, even if I have to forge it.
You see as she just sort of chuckles a bit. You're kind of scaring me. You're starting to sound like Caliber. As she just stops herself, Caliber, as she just stops herself mid-sentence.
Just looking at her.
Oh, are we? Oh, right. Right. Yes, the party. Let me just go. As she walks over past you, you notice she appears to how do I put this? The marble bench that you're sitting on your side, uh, she doesn't approach it at any way, shape, or form whatsoever. But the other side, she just despite her moving very slowly, the the marble seating over on that end just crumbles as she walks through it, as if it were nothing. What would you like to do?
Okay.
Do
Looking
you
at.
want to roll an insight or
Yeah, I'll roll another insight. I mean, let's see if I can tell what's going on. Oh,
24? You can tell that she appears to be completely normal from her perspective. I mean, she was just about a mention. She just mentioned a goddess who you know to be an outcast and actively hunted by everyone in the everyone in the Arani Union. But it's probably nothing to be associated with. It's probably nothing to be too concerned about, right?
hmm.
Unless it isn't.
Yeah. It seems like,
She's completely forgotten what she said on command.
God, if only if I could see the string that is pulling her and I could snap it.
Would you like to?
I can I? If I can, I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna fucking be like, man.
You have
Ooh.
you are not bound into your corporeal form. You're in your, manifest form, albeit, it's weaker. You do have some influence.
Yeah, so, yeah, if I see a string that is controlling her, making her do things, forget things, I will see it and snap it.
Make for me a perception check. Normal.
Alright, that is a 25.
You see something. As you stretch out your almost flesh-like, your fleshy hand, wow, it's really jarring. You almost forgot how it felt like to have flesh. It You feel something. It's not exactly solid. It's like putting your hand through smoke. You can't exactly feel it, but there's something there that's like somewhat sticking to your skin.
I'll I'll try to focus it as much as I can and see if I can get like a solid grasp on it and see if I can snap this thing.
Are you sure?
If it's controlling her or making her act against her whim, I would see that as wrong and would try to free her.
All right. Are you? I just want to reiterate because Bolt said to keep a low profile with the gods.
Which will probably have a lot of
This
connotations.
may end up having, yeah, which may result in this having something else happen that you may not intend.
Okay.
I'm just putting it out there so that way there's no surprise.
Alright. Thinking about this, I'll keep this in mind and seeing what I can do about snapping this possibly later and like seeing what I can do, but for now I'll just keep this in mind and know and remember where this and remember about remember where this is and seeing what I can do about this later. Once things are good where I can do this without being caught, I would take the chance. But for now I'll bide my time.
All right. All right then. Make for me a stealth check.
Alright, here I go, stealthing. That's 22. You know what? I'll add my mythic die on top of this because I need to increase my odds as much as possible. Yeah, that's 24.
24. You very quickly, to make sure as to not disturb it any further than you have, pull your hand away. And as she just sort of gestures her hand over past the hillside, you see almost suddenly burst forth a sort of calcavade, a row of calcavade of vines and bushels that just come direct barreling towards the two of you, eventually coming to a full stop as in her hands she produces in her hands is what appears to be a very large or very plump tomato. She then uh, sort of runs her finger across, and which results in it cutting in half. How this happens? God bullshit. Who knows? It's probably something like that. Yeah, God bullshit. Now let's just put all this behind us and focus on the future. As she hands one half of it to you.
Ratchet will take it and just being like to making a better world, I suppose.
And to in eternity to serve the better interests in the mortals. As she raises hers and takes a bite out of it.
Yeah. Roger will cautiously, well, it will carefully take a bite, just being like, this is
Alright.
not what you're not used to. It's just like eating. Unusual.
You sort of like, why am I just imagining you sort of like raise both your lips and like, oh.
It's the kid trying to eat food for the first time, like solid food for the
This
first time, just like,
this is how those meat-filled people eat, right?
Or like that one one thing from SpongeBob when Squidward tries to eat a Krabby Patty for the first
He
time
takes
ever.
a
pretty,
smallest little bite.
yeah.
Yeah, it's very it's not exactly citrusy. What the fuck am I talking about? Very juicy. Kind of feels like it's kind of a weird feeling having a soft, kind of pulpy, not spongy exactly, but a very a very like a very fleshy uh uh thing in your mouth that appears to release a gush of water. Um,
Yeah.
It's it's certainly an experience. Whether or not you'd recommend it, whether or not you'd try it again, it's up to you, your character decision. If you ever eaten a raw tomato,
just, just be like, it's like eating's weird. Why? It's like, you know what? I'm thankful I'm more for it. You know, it just.
this only makes this is weird shit. Let's not focus on this horrific present. This is just weird. But yeah, make for me a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
Let's do this. South 20.
Soft 20. I take it you want to keep this.
Eh, well, if I have two uses
Fine.
of the god die, I might as well use this one again. Use it the other use again.
All right.
Let's see. What's with the twos?
I don't know, but as you chomp into it and gulp it down, you feel your mind sway. As you look to Rontra, you think for a moment, she's she's not herself, but she has a point. Bolt should be, at the very least, maybe not exactly prevented from ascending like you,
Oh,
but she shouldn't. But he should be on a close leash. At least that's what you think for a moment,
as
as you
what
barely manage to shake it off. Like what the? As you hear her say, "What's wrong?"
felt like this food was altering my perspective, which just makes me put off food even more.
What are you talking about? The food's fine.
Well, seeing how it was make me think things that I don't normally think, it's kind of yeah. Maybe it's just the fact that this food's not for me and makes me think things I'm not supposed to.
Not supposed to. Your thoughts are your own. What could ever influence yours? You're always so headstrong and all.
Eh.
But you're a caring person, so I appreciate your honesty. As she just continues chomping down on hers. As you look at yours, it's still in its usual form. It doesn't make you feel any better what she says, but yeah, you definitely feel something's off.
Yeah, this whole situation, oh man, like if I see an opportunity where I can snap that thing and not get caught, I'd fucking do it in a heartbeat. But for right now, it's like, uh, just concerned gear grinding noises. Just.
she's a nice lady, but I don't like the sort of kind of cult talk she's espousing.
No, I just don't like the fact that she just isn't being. It's like she's clearly being puppeted, and it's like, ah.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm guessing if that is all,
Yeah. For as you just sort of sit there, having a moment of respite, and do you tell her like your adventures or?
yeah, I'll eventually catch her up and inform her, and just being like, Retro will make a mention every now and then, and be like, I really wish those other deities would stop being so
Weird.
yes, weird. Let's go with weird.
Yeah, and really, the Yellow King? Well, I'm not entirely surprised, though, the more I think about it. He is a renegade after all, and well, he's not a part of the Union. I'm just glad that you're safe. That you didn't get possessed by Haster. Oh, I said it. My bad. And she just does like a weaving motion around her lips and a tossing motion.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just a flurry of emotions between all that, and then her asking, what happened, and then what happened, and all that, till eventually, time comes to a close, and you find yourself, and as you say your goodbyes, you find yourself back in the at your smithy, at your temporary smithy,
Yeah.
which, I mean, it's not. It's kind of weird. It felt like just a few minutes, or it felt like just a couple hours there, but it looks like nothing less than a minute, nothing more than a minute has passed
Yeah.
as you take a look around. And you find something on the forge, or not the forge, the anvil that you're using, or not the anvil, the
My hammer. Yeah. On my
you find
hammer.
something sitting, yeah, you find something sitting on your hammer.
Yeah.
A
It's
familiar bit of flesh and iron, or flesh and steel, that traced on it says, "Don't trust them." But B.
just looking at the flesh as the picking up. It's like, no shit. After I found that string that seemed like being popular, it's like I'm gonna blame him for running away.
Yeah.
Bolt,
And then you.
Yeah, it's just like Bolt. Like Ratchet's just thinking himself, like Bolt. I hope you help me find a way to fucking fix this. It's like fix the fucking deity system.
You do so. Yeah, it's certainly an odd situation considering things you've told and how you perceive things.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the very least, you know for a fact, with her nature, she doesn't intend to harm you.
Yeah. It's definitely seeming like she's being like directly fed. Yeah, directly fed lines and is puppeted.
Yeah. As you make your bow, you feel something with it. Roll for me a D100.
All right. Just to be clear, I am applying this to the Great Dragon Bow that I've already pre-made. So let's see what happens. 9.
Okay. Let me just pull up the thing. Let's see. 9, you said?
I rolled a 9.
Alright, so you gain, on top of this, a rune of reflexes.
Oh, wow.
Let me just copy paste it real quick.
Yeah.
Privately send that to you. I mean,
Yeah, currently,
maybe not the best rune for a ranged weapon, but certainly it's something.
I'm adding in the micro for the oath bow. Yeah, because I have to make it separate from like what the bow already does. Because like I realize it like does straight up radiant. So plus it makes more sense to set up as micro because it specifically have to make a sworn enemy from my reading.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, got that micro all set up.
Alright.
I can use it after. Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'll add that in. Alright, so I will ask this because my stand is using this weapon. Do I have to be attuned to it in order for my stand to use it, or is my stand attuned to it and it doesn't take up a tune slot? Because
You have to attune to it in order for your stand to use it.
okay, so that
Because stand is still a part of you. It's still, you, so...
yeah, I'll make a note of that. So that is my last attunement slot. Perfect. Mark that as now attunement. Okay. Alright, so I will take the time to attune that after that's made and essentially get in a short rest too, which is nice.
Alright. And let's see here. Eventually you hear somebody approach, somebody in, not plate armor, but chainmail approach you. Or several people in chainmail.
As he's just attuning to the weapon, just goes, "Can I help you, gentlemen?"
You see, looks to be a band of guards, though you notice something, not exactly peculiar, but unique about their regalia. They don't appear to be bearing any icons on them, for the crest of this town that you're residing in, which most of the guards, appear to have. As they say, yes, we were told you making magic weapons, yes?
I
Eh,
can make a myriad of plus weapons, and I also, whenever I seem to make anything, it comes with the random runes. I haven't seemed to get control over it, but I'm working on it.
How many can you make in a day?
With the amount of time it takes me to craft, above game, would it be like, what would it be? How many I can craft with my expertise?
With your expertise, at most, you can to specifically devote into that. I will say, because you can choose. I'll say you can choose to make the weapons non-magical. You can do so. Well, it'd be just the normal crafting time of the weapon for you.
Okay, so Yeah. All right. So I'll make mention. So sake of brevity, I'll make mention of like how long it usually takes me to craft stuff, and I can, if need be, I can make stuff non magical. If those who are magically sensitive to that kind of stuff.
Seems easy. Magic's. He sort of looks over, gestures over to one of his allies and says something in a language. While you don't understand, you can certainly read. You're you see him say something along. Him say something along the lines of, "Are you sure this is the guy that can arm us up? This foreigner seems a bit weird."
Just hearing that, I will like look at the one he's speaking to and like see what kind of weapon he has and make the weapon he has on hand real just like quickly make essentially a better one for him.
All right. Roll for me a smithing tools check, as he appears to be wielding a flail.
That is a 38. And let me see what magically plus weapon it's gonna be. Yeah, that's a +3.
Yeah, as I say, yeah. Look, I know I've been wrong in the past, but you gotta understand, this guy. Apparently, this guy's the real deal.
Alright,
I mean,
and
for all we know, he could be, blessed by Hephaestus, as you just produced the flail right in front of him. Using some spare parts you have around, you make a very, uh, at the moment, unassuming flail. Like, oh, as he just asks, like, what? He just looks over to his ally and just says, "Can you tell him that? Ask him if what this is."
just looking at him, I'm like, it is a flail that is
What's this?
yeah, it is a flail that I made out of silver, just in case. And from what I tell from the runes, it is a rune of Alliance Might. This weapon gains strength for each ally within 60 feet of you.
Jesus Christ! Really use your luck there.
Yeah, I might ask him if he's okay with it. I can study that weapon and and forcibly make that rune instead of chancing it. Because honestly, I'd be like Ratchet would say. I'm like, because honestly, I would love it if I can learn that rune particularly.
Yeah. Make for me a persuasion check.
Yep. One moment.
Not
Persuasion.
against it, but he would like to, eventually he'd like to buy it off of you.
Yeah, I understand that. It's like also, it's like if I get a chance to make more, I can. If given a chance to study it, I can make more with that exact rune. Imagine a whole entire platoon with that.
Well, maybe not a platoon. Or no, yeah, a platoon. Yeah, a platoon makes sense. But yeah, you sort of look at, so with your natural 7, you is like, no, I mean, I'd really like to buy it off your hands now. I mean, I know you literally just made it, but if what you say is true, at the very least, can you have a test? Can you test it out?
You okay? If you really do want it now, you're more than welcome to buy it. But if you have the time, I'd like it if I can at least study off the rune at the very least. So that way I can, if needs be, make more of that rune for myself or your allies.
He sort of looks over to his allies. You just sort of gesture like, yeah, it's your call. As he's sure, I much prefer having it. No, but
Yeah.
if you wish, it's fine. He says.
All right, so I'll take the time to study that, but in the meantime, well, I studied that. Anyone else would like like me to prove them. It's like prove him wrong, pointing at the man who spoke. Like, it's like, are you sure that he's the right person?
Yeah, he is the right guy. It's this elvish, or somewhat elvish. You could see some, uh, probably he's probably a half elf or something.
Yeah.
As he just says, as he's just he says basically along the lines of like, I don't know what he's saying, but he's what is he? Why is he pointing to me?
To be like, just looking at like, I can understand everything. Oh, wait. It does. Like, I look, I'm like, can you only speak Elvish? And I'll say this in Elvish because I can actually speak that language.
Yeah, he said, yeah, no, you, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, wow, and one of the his colleagues says, "Oh, don't bother. It's probably some magic that we don't that only Paul could understand. That only Romanov could understand." Yeah, she just sounds. Yeah, yeah, you're right." He just sort of shakes it. He rubs the back of his neck a bit. Well, embarrassed to say the least. As you know, you basically call him out on his shit that he probably didn't mean too much by. He was just yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's like retro. Like, I mean, like, no hard feelings. I always get the misjudged. Like, everyone always assumes that probably most likely a dwarf's doing this stuff. But yeah, it's fine. But nonetheless, it's like,
yeah.
if the it's like just tell me what you need, and I'll easily make it. I also have a variety of metals I can also make this stuff out of too. I got iron, I got silverite, I got mithril, and I got a few bars of adamantium.
All right. Now, what's your so yeah, of course, we'll say for the sake of expediency, they ask you for what the price is for some of the stuff because they do request like javelins and spears.
Uh,
Since they're usually working as a team, they how do I put it?
uh,
Since they work as a team, they much prefer spears since it's a lot easier to work with a team while wielding spears, like when they're in formation.
yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think of a good price point because I'm using my own metals. All right. All right. If they're having it made out of standard iron with normal, uh, like with the enchantments being sporadic, I'd probably charge them at least 500 golds each if they want to make it out of silverite because I have a good amount like silverite or silver, whichever their preference is. I charge them like at least 100 more for that. If they are interested in adamantium, that will cost them essentially double. uh, Mithril, I'll essentially do because I have a good. How much chunks do I have in mithril for that? Let me check. Where is it? Ah, there it is. Yeah, I have a good amount of mithril, so I can easily make. I can easily make armor and weapons out of that for only an additional 200. For an additional 200. So those are the prices I'm essentially offering them. Like standard iron 500, adamantium double, silverite is just an extra, like silverite or silver is an additional 100, and mithril being an additional 200.
All right, so okay, so basically they buy 5,000 gold in equipment off of you. Make for me a as a sort of talk around you. They ask like if you're looking to work for a night order. or if you're or a guild or something.
I'm currently working for the Seven Nobles Guild and venturing doing a current job for them.
As they say, it's a shame. I think the stalkers might really like someone with your skills.
Eh. But
They'd
honestly,
really probably value you more than the Seven Nobles Guild already does.
in honesty, I am self-employed when it comes to smithing, so I'm free range when it comes to that. So if you ever need any more tools, you're more than welcome to contact me or send out my information to others to essentially give me more work and have them be more properly armed.
I'll see. I'll make sure the good ones come to you.
Yeah.
Which is to say, the ones who can actually pay for your services.
Yeah. I'm expensive, but I'm fair.
Yeah.
Alright.
Get what you pay for, and by God, do they get what they pay for?
Yeah. Alright.
Oh, mama.
Alright, so do you need me to make a general smithing tools check to make weapons for them?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Ba-da-ba-da. Smith tools scrubber.
Alright, and quality overall.
+3s.
Okay. And of
And
course, they ask for like non-magical, like javelins and the such, because apparently they're finding something that is resistant to magical damage, damage sources.
yeah. Okay, so in that case, I'll make sure that it is like, it's just quality plus, not magically plus, then I'll do my best to do that. Anyways, out of the fire, out of the materials I use to make, what do they request to be their stuff to be made out of?
Spears, javelins. Some of them ask for like an axe.
Yeah,
Basically, you use like 2,500 in materials, or not materials. Well, yeah. Basically, it's an amalgam of stuff, and if I were to do the math for each of them, I'd be here for forever for you, and I don't want to inflict that pain on you.
all right. To all right. So if I'm using 250, I'll just do. Okay, and they gave me 5,000 gold. Because I'm now doing mental math. All right, so 250. So all right, I'll make, because I got a good amount of silverite. I'll subtract 200 silverite and then 50 iron. So at least they're at least armed with like silver weapons at the worst.
Yeah. They buy a lot of shit off of you.
Yeah. And then 50 iron bars. So I got that all in minus. And I added in the 500 gold. Oh, 5,000, I meant to say. Not a bad work day.
Yeah. It's then as that occurs, a guard approaches you, asking if you're Ratchet.
That I am.
Yeah, as it looks like it's evening, I he says, "Oh, I'm sorry that I didn't come any earlier, but tomorrow, or the day tomorrow, you're going to be uh, on not exactly on trial. You'll be a witness to the not trial. You'll be a speaker for one of the trials that is going to be occurring tomorrow. Yes."
That is correct. That was one of the people. Yeah.
Okay then. He asks you if there's any chance you could how do I put this? If you could essentially uh help him with a specific case. He's. It looks like a lot of people did a few, or not a few. A lot of them did. A lot of people robbed. A lot of people robbed a bunch of local shops. So it was wondering if you're able to, if you could help him with that case.
I'll see what I can do about tracking down, like helping you track down the thief in question. Worst case scenario, I can at least work on replacing what it was lost if it's weapons or armor. But yeah, I'll gladly lend my assistance.
All right, and he's happy to hear, and he'll basically how do I put this? He'll send for a messenger to speak to you before you or after you come back from your trial. But he's happy to hear that you'd be willing to help. Not a lot of people as of recent are being very cooperative with law enforcement. So a friendlier face being present is much appreciated. That, I think. Okay. Evening comes. The night is relatively quiet. You're not particularly bothered by any singular person. Yeah, evening just goes by peacefully. Nothing really of note to happens. Let's see. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. There we go. Yeah, so as morning comes, overall, you find yourselves.
I didn't get to do my thing.
Oh, right, sorry.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Sorry, didn't hear you, man.
I mean, like we have been waiting, like, and this isn't on Alex, but like,
For a bit.
Yeah, I gotta admit, like when we started on my stuff, it took an hour. Like,
Was the goddess stuff was really interesting, but then Midnight Order.
yeah, I didn't mean to take it that long. It's like freaking.
No, it's alright. It's perfectly fine.
Alex, I say this jokingly.
Writing down notes.
Next time you complain about us taking too long, we'll point this out. All right,
Well, hey, to be fair, I don't mean to take long. It's just like Auntie likes to go to.
Alex.
I'm joking. I'm joking too. I'm poking fun at.
It's, I mean, I
All
was
right.
writing down notes like a mad woman.
All you have to do is blame Auntie.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm used to this. It's the DMs are supposed to be blamed for it, so it's good.
Alright.
Right. Armored.
So, departing from the Ratchet show.
What I can do.
On to the cobbler.
Don't worry. Thursday's the Vera show.
Is it?
Unfortunately.
Not entirely. It's also you and Norlai.
Then the only thing I know is that Sean is helping her find her sister.
So yes, I'm going to a cobbler apparently.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been so long I forgot.
Yeah, you're going to a cobbler, a former what the fuck am I? Wrong game. A former knight's knight of the ascent of the iridescent cross is the agent who is now working as a cobbler.
Lester will stop and see if he will do nightly duties and ask if he'll help out where he can. If he sees litter on the ground, he's gonna pick it up.
Okay. I mean, say there's litter. That's but again, very mild. There's more than just litter. There's sometimes there's people on people bits on the floor, on the ground, but being cleaned up, obviously.
He will give his condolences.
Yeah, as you do. And eventually you do make your way to to the residence.
He knocks up. He's not going to be rude. Does the sign look to be closed?
Appears to be open right now.
Well, he will head in as this is a business.
All right. You do so. It's very unusual. With as you come in, it's very plain. You probably get you get the feeling you probably had put down everything that would normally be for sale away out of fear, and just in case someone decided to rob him. That way they don't have as much of a reason to. But you
Is,
also notice it's very quiet.
is there a little bell?
Looks like there's like a kind of crusty bronze one. Only somewhat.
He'll
Got like a little bit of smudge.
he'll gently tap it.
All right, you do so, and you hear a very dull ding that rings through. Are you in armor or just your regular attire?
He's wearing his tabard, but no armor.
All right. You do. As you ring it, you hear some footsteps coming from what appears to be next to or right behind the counter. As coming up from a latch, you see a rot folk with what appears to be wearing a smock, for some reason leather apron. Well, actually, no, it cannot make sense for some shoes, but we'll not get there. And kind of have to sort of double take, but you notice a familiar symbol to well, I guess now dead, god, Bahamut. It looks very well kept over his. Uh, it's a very well kept necklace, and you can very clearly tell there's not just a sense of respect for it, but a sense of reverence to not exactly the symbol itself, but what it means.
Greetings, brother.
He sort of is looking up and down at you. I finally hear my complaints. I told them this,
Uh,
but they never listen. No, no, no. I'm just a crazy guy. Then it happens, and people get hurt. Sorry.
I do not know of any complaints. I am here because you are able to get into contact with the iridescent knights. Though, if you need anything, do not hesitate to ask.
He sort of looks up and down at you. You're a bit high ranking. Why the hells are you just bothering me for me? Can't you just I don't know, do it yourself. I mean, more often than not, people like of your rank probably get to do it, can do it probably at will.
I wish. Plus, I like to talk to those of my those are my brothers and sisters.
That's cute. Not really. That feels a bit creepy. But let's not focus on my opinion of how people should treat each other. I'm probably not somebody who should be judging to begin with. You're you know exactly what I am, right?
A former member and a worshiper of Bahamut, as far as I can see.
Not just a worshipper, as he sort of pounds his chest. Proud oracle. Okay. Uh, he's gone. He sort of says that, looking away a bit. I can't say I blame him. I'd choose the same if I were him.
No god is truly gone as long as there are worshippers.
I think that's true. Well, thanks for the opinion there. You're probably not super familiar with how that sort of thing works, right?
No, I'm more into fire and brimstone.
Yeah, well, long story short, he gave me a bit of power. So I don't draw from him. I just sort of cultivate what I already had. But you're not here to listen to some old sap yap about his old days that are long gone. You're here to get contacts. Give me a moment. I'll you get my crystal ball.
All that and to buy some new boots.
Oh, here.
I mean, like, he pulls it off. I've been dealing with this fool for 3 days. See, he just puts his hand in his boot and wiggles one of his fingers through the hole.
One of those. Oh, sure, I can take care of that. Just sit it down over on the counter. I'll take a look at it soon. As he goes back down,
So,
you sorry.
He goes to
like,
sleep.
he's being told like, he's doing what he's told.
Okay, sorry, just making sure. You
Just think better.
oh,
Bless you.
you
Don't
wait.
get sneeze.
It's very noisy on his end of things. For a moment you think, I mean, is he really getting it? It sounds like he's kind of stalling as you see something like a bit of paper uh, whiz past you. Till eventually you hear as coming up the stairs, you see him with this, well, this glass orb. It's way too big for him. Uh, bit buried behind some.
He just gets up like anything I can do to help you.
No, I'm fine. Just gotta be careful with this thing. One step forward as he just cautiously walks up. He then as he sets down the base of it, he asks, "So, how are things going back with with her, everyone?"
If I can be playing the same bureaucratical bullshit as always.
It's not much of a that's not particularly happy. Usually, you higher ranks are very up and at 'em. The Eldritch Eldritch knowledge is within our grasp sort of mood. Oops, who bit your ass? Called you a weenie.
The Yellow King.
He says, "Oh shit. Oh, guess you ain't high rank for nothing." As he
Oh yeah, yeah, I have damn good friends.
Good. Keep them. Nowadays, your people are definitely gonna need them. Need friends now more than ever.
No, you're telling me as he shows off his arm.
Yeah. He just sort of recoils a bit. Ugh. I'm not gonna ask. You don't tell me, okay?
Fair enough.
Eesh. As he says, "All right. So, what does he need said?"
Pretty much. I am apparently ascending. I've already experienced the mark of power. We had to deal with Haster, and he is asking for at least a bit more of his allowance if he's asking for a raise in his allowance.
Okay. He just sort of stares at you for a moment. I'm sorry, what? Okay, you know what? I'm really out of the loop. Let me just. Okay.
Complicated.
This is.
Though he does say the last one jokingly,
Yeah, he's just sort of.
though still seriously.
Yeah, he's sort of still like kind of shaking his head like, "Good shit." One of these cases. He clears up as he clears up his palms, removing his gloves. He starts to cast a spell and repeats what you said. The crystal ball begins to glow with and the orb is almost enveloped in this platinum, uh, frost, permafrost that just sits there as he utters the incantation. It's very odd. No, it's not exactly every day someone, uh, who has the remnants of a dead god, the remnants of power from a dead god, performs a service like this. Even less so when power very clearly is still very strong in this one. As he sends out the message, says, all right. What else do you need?"
That's about it. Well, that and my boots.
Oh, right. Give me a sec. Give me a few moments. Basically, long story short, he takes your measurements and will uh, essentially give you them. Oh God,
Shoe size. Measure.
he gets your size after measuring it nice and proper. Asks if you're, but beforehand asking if you're hooved
Uh,
or
nope. Got all 5 fingers and toes.
okay, good. Okay, just making sure. Some people wear shoes despite having hooves.
I think you'd go for a blacksmith for that one.
You'd be surprised. People are just too stubborn nowadays. As he just starts uh, checking your problem. All right, I should be able to get this done by the end of the day. Just I'll send you. I'll have a messenger yap at you when you when I'm done.
And how much is it going to cost me?
For you? Well, I get a feeling you're gonna say no if I say for free.
No. I always pay for good work.
Yep, figured. Uh, let's say, let's say, let's see for this. Replace the entire soul as he double checks it. Yeah, let's say 25 gold for this, or not 25 gold, 25 silver for this. It's like 2 gold, 1 electrum.
He gives it
Yeah,
over.
yeah, this. I do not envy your poor, poor, poor souls. He says, just looks at the rest of the damage a lot more intently now.
Oh, you know the iridescent knights. Have you marched through march you through hell on one pair of boots?
Yeah. I don't know. You see, he sort of just says, "Yeah," with an almost far away smile, as if recalling something. But let me just get this all nice and prepped. All right. Now, anything else you need?
Well, unless you're offering tea, unfortunately not.
I'm a whiskey man myself, so no.
I'll take that too.
Well, I'm not exactly the sharing kind, so I'm sorry.
Just snaps his fingers.
It says, "I'm not sorry. Fuck you." Keep your head up and don't lose your humanity. All right. Remember, stay mortal.
I think I'm losing you on that front, but honestly, I'd rather die without my humanity. I mean, I'd rather die before giving up my humanity.
Now that's iridescent cross spirit, death before dishonor, or is that a Chicagoan thing? Yeah, whatever.
Ah,
It's
care.
Yeah.
Either or.
Yeah. Eventually, as you take your leave, what else would you like to do?
How about, well, pretty much do what not Alistair, Ratchet did and help out around town where he can until tomorrow, till the next day.
All right.
Said Adriana would help the wounded in cleric cheese.
All right.
Or help or put like a whole Mother Teresa and be like, and here to help those displaced and all that.
All right.
And Alistair is going to try and rebuke the idea that he is of demonic possession.
Or demonically marked. Yeah. Make for me a persuasion check, and for Adriana, make for me a medicine check.
Yeet.
They do good.
27.
Natural fucking 20.
For total 36.
They do good.
You walk into a room and everyone be healed.
I mean, I don't want to put it so blatantly, but yeah, basically.
Hold on, Mother Teresa.
Full on Mother Teresa. Yeah, just healing.
You are healed, my children.
Probably excluding the lack of painkillers in the medical practice.
And believe that everyone who suffers is closer to God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah, aside from the bad parts.
Yeah. You managed to get easily provide, not easily, but you dutifully and provide plenty of help. And Alistair. Yeah, they're still very cautious of you. But you're certainly bringing doubt into their mind. And you know what? Hey, that's good enough. Sometimes, a little bit of doubt will go a long way.
And he'll also jokingly say, "And joke's on you, I'm marked by a devil. I actually have to follow the law."
So, okay.
I just
I
about.
was
Uh,
piggybacking off my 36. It was while healing. I also casted great food and water. So it's like you said, you're healed. You get a meal. Just
yeah,
everything.
it's a very successful day for both of you in
Yeah.
different ways.
Yeah.
Some of
So I
you
also try to plug Saloon a little bit, not aggressively, just like
a bit, yeah, just
a little bit.
yeah. So in that case, make for me a wisdom saving throw, unless you're casting a spell to communicate with to speak with your patron god or
It
goddess.
was I was just yeah, I was going to cast Crave Food and Water.
Okay.
What I have to do with Wisdom save?
Wisdom save, yeah. If you're not casting a spell like speak with or was it
Commune,
or
I think it is.
Yeah. I mean, if I cast a Commune, then all I'm doing is just talking in front of people that I heal. So
Yeah.
it's not much to that.
Okay.
I'm pretty good at these. So let's see, let's go Wisdom, right?
Yeah. Alright, I gotta check on there. I'll be right back.
So 26.
All right, 26. You find yourself going into a trance. It's quiet, peaceful, almost perfect as you enter that familiar state. You're it's certainly yeah, you're certainly there. As you feel as you find yourself standing in the middle of on top of on top of what appears to be an ocean, and looming very closely overhead is the moon, just there, uh, in its glory.
I'm in a trance.
Yep, you're in trance.
So what do I do?
So, what sort of questions would you like to ask?
Am I talking to somebody?
Oh yeah, you're deity, yeah.
And then cast Commune.
Oh right, sorry. Okay,
Casted Create Food and Water.
Oh yeah, you cast create food and water. You help the I am so sorry. That was
It's
my
okay. It was I was just thrown through for a loop for a bit because it's like, what happened?
you. Yeah, you. It's
Yeah, it was I want to like double it up because it's like they healed and then you get a meal with some water. I said to help with can't exactly help with rebuilding houses, but it's the best I can do.
yeah. You do so. You help out where you can and let others aid where they can.
Yeah. Help healing the wounded, giving them a nice meal, a lot of comfort for the community.
Okay. Sorry. Can you repeat that last bit?
A spot of comfort for the community, just like a communal space.
Okay.
Like it was, I'm assuming it was like after people being healed, it was they'll walk out and be like, "Hey, if you had got one to come over here," was that because it was so successful at it?
Yeah, you definitely provide plentiful service, and you provide plentiful comfort. With your natural 20 for a total of 36 medicine. Yeah, you easily do so. Meanwhile, Alistair. Actually, Adriana.
Mm-hmm.
You do receive a message, actually.
Oh.
Not exactly from anything in particular. It's very splintered. The message is essentially uh, the threat up north has been taken care of. The Bloodhound Guild appears to have both been responsible and have fixed the problem. Anyone who is capable of doing so uh, within or near is able to come north, please do so. We will now begins the first true crusade for the Irani Union against the demonic threat that has installed itself here.
If anyone north is available to come north, or anyone that's available.
Yeah, anyone who's capable or available, because Deus Volt up in the Arctic, because now they're demons. Demons up north. What? Demons up north?
Demons up north. Or down is I'll send a message back. Well, thank you for informing me. I may not be able to attend for a while, but I wish you good luck on this crusade. May them guide your path.
You hear a response in that saying, "We understand. We'll make adjustments if need. We'll make adjustments and update you if we're in dire need, or if God's damn us if it ever comes to it, we end up requiring to apply a uh, a writ of of conquest for you, bro. I would say you make for me a history check normally for this because it's been a while since this has ever been mentioned.
It's 32.
Okay. 32. Normally, actually, it's a 17.
No, it's because of my magic item.
Right.
So it would be the 32 would be the normal thing.
32. It almost kind of worries you for a moment. The last time a writ of conquest, for your clergy at the very least, when it was brought forth, was when there was a particularly vile influx of demons of shadow demons in Ekron, which exists in the Irani Union, and over there, not a lot of. I mean, people survived and tell the tale, but it wasn't exactly a. It was a very dire time. So if they're even remotely considering something like this, even half-heartedly, then things must really be. Then it must be really. The demons must be really in there.
My son, I'll make a response. Hopefully, we'll come to a better conquest of the.
You eventually will move. Actually, Armored,
Yes.
you receive a sending or a sort of telepathic message, probably from someone in the higher ups, saying that let's see here, the roar up north has been vanquished. The Bloodhound Guild is to blame for both the cause of this and the end of the roar. Demons have anchored themselves up north. Where exactly is unknown. We're speaking with the other knightly orders and guilds. We very well may join the Aroni Union's backing as a crusade against the demonic threat. If you're able to provide help, it would be appreciated. But if you're unable to, then that is also understandable.
And nothing about his fancy new rash.
No, they're still very eventual. If once you reply, if you were just ask when you ask that, yeah, they are unknown as to if it's removable, but they're certainly hoping that it shouldn't have. Sorry, they're hoping it doesn't have any negative side effects. And the hoping thing isn't exactly immediately nice, but hey. I can't exactly blame them considering what literally is that there's the fact that there's literally a crusade up north of a demonic threat that is that's
Right now, I'm small fish compared to what's going on there.
it's small fish.
And he speaks telepathically to Ashara. He goes, "I'll see what I can do, but I'm not going to promise."
It's not to Ashara, it's to it's generally a comms person from your guild.
A shaman is on another plane of existence and is unaware of what's happening on the material plane.
Yeah.
Which is why he's going to use his link with Ashara. Or Ashana.
Okay. Good, because I rolled for the whether or not she would receive the message with her being on another plane. Yeah, no, I rolled a 1.
Well,
I hate you, No, I don't hate you, physical die, but why are you like
I
this?
hate you sometimes, physical dice.
Yeah.
Oh, this is why I'm here now, ain't it? Sweetheart?
Yes?
There is apparently a crusade going on.
Oh. Where?
David's fault level.
Where?
Up north from where we are.
Why?
The north.
What?
The north.
Why?
Demons because of the Bloodhound gang.
Bloodhound Guild.
Dang, guild at the same.
On the if you could join this crusade, I hope you. I wish you well.
Speaking of which, I am being hailed a hero and I guess, villain. Some.
It's because they think you're demonically possessed or something.
That is stupid.
That is
Like,
stupid.
I mean, that is insulting.
Yeah. And here's just making blanket assumptions that they got to know you. They wouldn't have to make those.
Oh, and can I have permission to drink alcohol, please?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
It's not too much, okay?
All right. As he just turns and goes into the nearest open bar.
Also, by the way, Auntie, can I finish my message?
Understood.
Can I finish my message, by the way?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, let's hope it never comes to that. As must be deeply ingrained if it is. But if there is ever dire need, I will do my best to come. But at the moment, I am unavailable.
The operator nods it, or not nods, but they
I telepathically feel him nodding.
yeah, sure, go with that. They you telepathically feel them nodding. It's kind of weird. As they say, eh, it is all right. Make it. We'll we'll be sure to make sure that this doesn't call for such an act. May Salem guide you.
May the moon mother guide your path.
Eighth, and let's see here. I think that may very well be a good place to end, unless there's something else you guys would like to do.
I mean, besides seeing what I can do about learning how to make the rune of like Alliance Might, that so that way I can do make that enchantment whenever. No, nothing really else that comes to mind besides that.
Yeah, Arcana check, by the way, for that.
But
On Arcana.
Who's accusing me of being demonically possessed.
yeah.
Well, he did show the spirit of vengeance in his face.
You also literally summon demons. So.
Yeah.
I thought closets were devils.
No, they're demons. Those are imps.
Those are imps.
Yeah. Common misconception. They're both
All right.
assholes.
Do I have advantage or is it normal?
I'll say advantage because you made it.
Okay. So that's a 24.
So it's kind of weird trying to decipher something that you yourself did. Wouldn't recommend this sort of experience, and would not wish this upon anyone. That's just it's just beyond weird. It's uncomfortable. Everything is just too weird. But you managed to do some research of it, reverse engineering it effectively. You make 1 point of progress out of 4.
Alright, I'll make a note of that. 1 out of 4. Okay. Noted.
Alright, and with that, I think that's a good place to end it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Recording.
Alright, I'll
I
stop.
downloaded all the